Smithsonian reports show. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I don't know if there's ever been any reports of actual, like, pumice coming out of it or anything like that. I'm not aware of that, but it might be good to go look back and look at the Smithsonian reports.
Great.
I don't know if there's been any dating of the rocks taken from the caldera, on the top of the caldera, or any kind of dating been done on this volcano. So its geologic history is a little bit murky as far as I know.
Not unlike the water inside the crater.
What seems to be interesting, too, is that this is the only puka, or hole, of this sort that we've seen on this dive. And you wonder if this was made by some biologic process, large animals crawl around in there, or whether this might be a bomb sag.
Look at the holes on the left.
Where a large fragment of rock that was thrown out by an eruption event may have just depressed the sediment around. See a lot of that sort of thing in Hawaii on the coastline, the southeast of the island of Oahu.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I guess it could be just a partly buried upper head wall of a scarp, that, a failure zone. Because these things are complex, we know there's been failures out in this part, as we saw in the larger view of the map. There have been recent maps we've seen in here. So it's possible that it's something like that, too.
And there's a nautilus shell in that pile of shell debris right in the middle.
I did think that was a nautilus shell, but I didn't want to see
There's
it
a whole lot of shell
not.
debris in there.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
So it's the big one.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's so bright.
I know.
Oh, yeah, look
so
at that.
It's the half. It's missing half of it.
Wow. Good eyes, Patty.
I think this is what they call a paper knot, but I'm not positive. And
Actually, those were Chris's eyes that saw it first.
No.
Tell him.
Well, there we go. Now we can see it even more. It moved. Well, this is just totally fascinating.
I think I could be wrong about this because I don't know these animals at all, but I think it's called a paper nautilus because the shell is so thin.
Excellent. All right. Well, this was certainly a very cool piece of geology to get to sit and look at and talk about for a while.
Hey, come on out.
And we're just going to continue on our slow move around this area. I think we should be on the hunt for more of those. That was pretty cool. Seeing more of the same anemones, crinoids, sea pens.
Something blowing
Fish?
across there.
Is that a fish?
Tumbling.
Nope, not a fish.
Just a dead stalk.
A wandering dead coral.
But lots of crinoids,
Tumble
lots of
coral.
anemones, lots of sea pens. You can see anemones need a hard substrate to attach to, and so there are 3 of them on that one tiny little rock, whereas the sea pens do not, and so they can just be found anywhere in the sedimented habitat.
Come on in.
I see 2. Where's
I know,
the
it's
third?
2. Yeah, no, it's 2.
And they're each about 10 centimeters, it looks like.
All right. When you're happy. Quick zoom on this guy. I don't know what that is. The sea pen. Yeah. Coming out.
All right, we're just continuing on.
What's that clear
We
spot in
just
your sonar?
had,
Is that a
just a few minutes ago, had been at an area where we were looking at what looked like volcaniclastics, some
to get
ash
to the
deposits.
pilot?
There was definitely some sorting going on. And it had turned into a little bit of a shell midden.
About it. Right there. The end of your leash.
And what is this coming up in front of us?
Looks like there's a little sort
Little
of
local high?
remaining thing. Yeah. Drops down in front of us if you look at the sonar.
Yep.
So something drops down. I mean, we can make a ship move and look over there.
I think it would be good if you wouldn't mind.
Due north.
2.5?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
2.5 or north.
Okay. 20 meters.
Yeah, I would say at least maybe 30.
Let's do that.
I'm just gonna look around while we wait.
Bridge now. Hey, ship move, please. Range 30 meters. Bearing 000 degrees due north. Speed 0.3. Good copy, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry for tugging you and getting pushed that way. Levi.
What?
Sorry for tugging you, I'm getting pushed that way.
That's right.
What's the direction of our moving?
Due north.
000.
So you're gonna get your tether in your face because we have the current behind us.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted a bit more move because you're not gonna be able to come down that much.
Yeah.
So, for those of
And
you...
just
Oh,
wondering,
yes, Patty.
Are we going to go towards that little high reflection in the sonar with the shadow behind it that has all the crinoids on it?
Yes, we are, Patty. Actually, they just put in a ship move, so we will need to wait until the ship gets underway, Sirius gets underway, and then we will be wandering off in that direction because we all like looking at local highs and hard surfaces. So we are heading that way.
Yes, I'm learning. Thank you.
No, thank you for asking. I think that's a great question. And for those of you who want to follow along, where is the sonar? Is it on screen? Yeah, it's on stream 2 right now. Yeah. So if you'd like to take a look at the sonar returns from the Deep Discoverer ROV, it's on the left, and the Sirius is on the right. Both of them are set to a range of 50 meters right now. And what Patty was just talking about was that very bright return that's in the ROV's sonar.
Right, so for people who might not be familiar, the warm colors, the yellow, are highs for returns that the sonar is giving us, and then the black thing streaking across the top of the image is a shadow. Or it looks like we're going up a hill, and the shadow is down the other side.
Yep. Except we don't... What were you going to say, Diva?
I was just going to say we're opening up onto a field of even more crinoids.
Woohoo!
More
Crinoids!
stock crinoids. And it looks like there's we're approaching a drop-off
Yeah, that is sort of what it looks like.
slope.
Which... Right, it matches the sonar. It does not match the bathymetry, which is not that surprising because the bathymetry is not of the same resolution as we can see on the seafloor. A field of crinoids.
It looks like you're seeing the downslope on the side of this where the shadow is right now.
So we look at the substructure here. See more gravelly stuff on the left.
Doesn't necessarily look very steep.
Oh, there was I think a Bathysaurus over there. Maybe not.
Do you want to go back?
No. I mean, we've seen enough.
Why? What's just a Bathysaurus?
There's something white lying on the seafloor over there.
Oh, I see that.
Horizontally.
Yeah, come on in, Roland.
Now we're going to find out, is it a stock or is it a fish? It's a stock.
What is that?
It looks like a crinoid
Oh, it's
that
a crown
fell
of the
over.
fellow.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Well
Not a
done,
fish.
Eagle
A lot more
Eyes.
shimmering
Not a
in the
fish.
water in this area.
So even though that looks like a fairly low mound,
Pilot, look at the temperatures on my screen. They
all
keep-
the
they
all the
come up with that.
crinoids were hanging out there because it's just a little bit higher and
Yeah.
gives them
5
the
minutes.
idea for
That's
suspension
right
feeding,
when
right?
I came back from the hydraulics
Exactly.
stage,
You
so-
got shimmering
Okay,
right in front of you.
Exactly. Like there's
To
probably
this
quite a lot of
gravelly area.
current vaulting up
I'm
over
seeing
this.
shimmering.
And yeah, I'm
Vaulting.
seeing the shivering as well. But
Yep.
that could just be a
Come on in.
temperature differential.
The temperature here is 17 degrees C.
Ooh, is that an octopus? Just below that crinoid, yellow.
Yes, that is. Stand by, Roland.
Diva wins again.
Is that really an octopus?
Octopus points.
Can you zoom in on your temp probe?
That's
Oh my
like the
gosh,
world's
look at it.
teeniest octopus.
Yes.
Come on out, Roland.
Wow.
That's absolutely what it is. You can see his little eyes.
Yeah, we saw that too.
Okay, come on in.
Oh my god, it's so cute. I want to take it home with me.
Oh, look how little it is.
So about 8 minutes ago, it started going up. It came back down a little bit. Temperature did.
Oh, I totally want to take it home. But of course, we don't take samples just to take them home. And we only collect samples that
Are
have
novel.
have a very strong purpose here. What is the purpose? Why do we take samples, Eva?
We tend to take things that may be new species, which happens a lot when you're doing exploration. But I will say we only take,
on in.
it's moving. We only take 2 to 3 biology samples and 2 to 3 geology samples per dive.
Tilt down with my camera.
We also look at dominant species
Exactly. So when you're characterizing an area,
or range extensions, right, for biology?
Exactly.
And for geology, oh my god, it's moving. Oh!
It's getting a little bigger. And he's changing his texturing of his
Yeah.
body.
Wow.
Oh, he's feeling up himself.
You know, I can't say I'm all that impressed with his camouflage efforts here.
I think he's the wrong color, Chris. Oh, does he have a little hole?
Yeah, he must be colorblind. He's not getting it. He should be white.
So I think what's happening here is he's trying to make himself as large as possible to try and scare us off.
Wait, how big is this guy? He's like less than 10 centimeters, right?
It's like, you know when you're walking a dog and like the littlest dog is the most yappy and
Yeah.
aggressive? That's what's happening right now.
Well, it's still very cool.
Tilt up just a bit.
So I've found it to always be true that no matter what, no matter who's in the room, no matter what kind of
Background.
deep
they have.
sea expedition we're on, no matter what kind of background, every person who goes to sea will chase an octopus if
Yep.
they can.
It's because they're just incredible.
Yep. Geologists, we love them.
How much
As soon as we see them, transects go straight to the wind and we go and
2.5
chase
degrees.
octopus. We love them.
I think it'd be worth exploring after we're done with this guy.
Ready to go for the shimmer?
Okay, well, we have some great footage, so
Sorry.
video whenever you're good, and pilots whenever you're good.
Oh,
we can
okay, we can
move
go.
on.
I don't want to move on, and it's an
Alright, tilt
octopus.
back.
Thank you.
So he was less than 10 centimeters
I think
big.
so. He was tiny.
So, watch lead.
Yep.
We saw a temperature increase in the temp probes.
About 2 degrees.
Where?
We were
Yeah, so I
exploring
mean,
around there.
okay, sorry.
Okay, wait, we can't all talk at once.
Sure, yeah.
ROV pilot, can we hear what you were going to say?
So if you look at the co-pilot screen,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the ambient on the
Oh, wow.
left, and then it went up a few degrees at some point somewhere while we were moving around.
All right.
It's to the south of you.
So,
Yeah, to the south.
While we were looking at this mound,
while we were moving around, so I'm going to move south.
While we're looking at this mound, is there any chance that we might, perchance, pick up a rock?
Patty, I haven't seen anything that really looks like a great candidate. You are more than welcome to
Visually,
point
I
one
think
out
it
when you
was
see
back
one.
to our right when I started seeing the shimmers.
Well, they're all kind of small, but, I just am wondering, since we haven't got anything,
Well,
and we know that this has been active, what do you think?
are these datable? Or would you be more interested in the chemical composition? What would be the value of picking up a rock, especially in this area?
Yeah, where you
We
are
don't
now is
know until we get it.
hotter than you
Well, I would say also that, yes, of course they're datable, and the composition, we have no idea what it is.
Right.
So both things would be doable.
Well, we do know something about the general edifice. It is basalt to basaltic andesite.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing
Is the
that
temperature
people would
going
be
up again?
especially interested in would be anything glassy, because you can get magmatic volatiles out of that, and Mary
Some
Jo
white
Pounce in particular would
bio
be
in the
interested to
distance
work
there.
on that. You know, it's hard to know what's glass and what's not, but the chance of it being glass if we don't pick it up is lower than the chance of it being glass if we do.
Okay,
Okay,
so those might be bacterial mats.
I'm going to take that under advisement, but right now we're actually going to change.
No, they're not.
Change
Take
just
it
a little
back.
bit. There are some. We're getting a little bit of a temperature increase on the D2's temperature probe, so we're trying to figure out where that temperature increase, like what it might be related to on the seafloor. So I take both of your discussions with great gravity, and we will talk about a rock sample once we figure this out.
EDCP said down
Yeah, in fact, I don't see any rock
from
samples
your
here.
start.
Right,
But yeah,
exactly.
what-
That would
how
be
much
my
is
other
the
issue.
temperature increasing?
I think it's interesting that we've been seeing a couple dead crinoids.
On the sonar, there's a series of what appear to be steps on the north to the northwest of us. If we're going over there to take a look, there might be a steeper slope, or there might be some outcrop there or something.
In which direction?
I think he's looking at these.
Well, there seems to be a
Those are small
series of
features.
steps, linear features on the north to the northwest of us.
Pilot, what do you think?
I mean, they're hard returns. Turn and look at it.
Sure did.
Oh, we can go take a look.
Where the
So-
temperature started going up.
Is that it? I mean, I'm turning, and that's turning.
This is interesting. So the temperatures have been going up in this area by
they're still
about
creeping up.
2 to 2.5 degrees, it looks
What
like.
does CGDs look like?
But we're not seeing where it would be coming from yet.
17.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I gotta figure out
That's
where
where
the
I'm at.
current's blowing me, because I would assume it's coming from wherever the current's coming from.
And that would be awesome if we could trace it back.
Yeah. So it looks like it's coming from behind us.
Okay, so we think that the current's coming from behind us.
I'm just gonna drift here for a second.
Okay, we're just going to hang out, and we're going to try to see maybe if we can figure out how to trace back this little thermal anomaly that we're seeing. And Roland, could you put this up on the quad screen? Oh, you already did. You're so good. So for those of you who are following along, and for our shore-based scientists, if you look at stream 3, not only can you see the sonars, which we've been talking about a lot, but you can also take a look at the ROV co-pilot display, which shows the temperature increases that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
And it
come
looks like
underneath you.
the turbidity's increased
It just
too.
came from there.
Yeah,
The what?
too.
I'm wondering what's going on here.
I think it's just seeping up out of the
Turbidity?
gravel.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
So I'm actually going to agree with Chris and say I also think it's just seeping up in various places.
That's quite
through the
possible.
gravel.
Is that what he said?
Chris? Who are we talking about?
Chris.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to find any one place emanating anything. Perhaps there are some pockmarks in the area,
We don't know.
but
I don't know. I'm willing to do a search for it.
So you're gonna, as I come underneath you, turn around.
Yeah, I was gonna wait to get closer to 90. I'm at 50.
So I was gonna go upstream, if that makes sense. See if we can follow the temperatures.
Temperatures are still
Sounds
rising.
good to us. So the temperatures are still going up a little bit. So we're just sort of traipsing along, trying to see if we can stay in this little bit of an anomaly.
All right, turn left or turn right? I don't think it matters.
It's actually
to
far
me.
more tense than I thought it would be.
For me. So
No?
I think it only gets tense when different people
So
I thought it would be.
for me. So
No?
I think it only gets tense when different people
So I
have
need to
different
go-
opinions. And so some people are like, I think it's this, and some people are like, I think it's this. And then it creates this
If you have a positive
fun
turn,
tension in the room.
Excitement.
well,
But
try
not
one
just
turn.
Palpable.
excitement.
Palpable tension and excitement.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see.
We're holding on.
Like competitiveness,
Yes.
but, fit, but
Be able to know it,
good-natured.
but-
I
Yeah, I know.
agree.
Might be worth looking, giving it a look a little bit to the west as you come south. On that return, just to your right there.
What do you see?
Just
Oh,
that,
the slope.
and yours, yeah, just a
Big
slope.
fish dead ahead.
So,
What's that?
a very exciting
Chase the
18
blue.
degrees C.
Come on in.
That looks like the same.
That's a
Puffer.
fish.
Okay.
No,
And the
snapper.
blue just
I
went
don't
into a
know.
hole.
I can't see.
I think we'll wait for someone to tell us. Oh, that is the puffer again.
You can turn whenever
You were right.
I'm turning left.
Is it though?
You were getting really, really good with the fish.
And
Except not. Bruce, don't worry about it. No competition here.
Is it?
while you're
It's because I can read Bruce's
turn down,
entries
going
really
up or
well.
down.
Going down.
You mean you can read?
I was at
Especially
0,
Bruce's
so-
entries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but my turn count. You need to go the other way. See my turn count?
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
doesn't
So this
matter.
is just, I mean, this has been a
You have a
super
turn and a half
enjoyable
in.
dive
Yeah.
so far.
Okay. Well, if you turn the other
We
way,
started out this morning in the middle of a crater,
A volcanic crater.
a volcanic
We
crater,
gotta get my
and
turn up.
at Esmeralda Bank, and Esmeralda Crater, and we drove around the seafloor. We saw all sorts
We
of
can do it on
interesting
recovery.
sediment
You don't have to do it
patterns.
now.
We saw, what else did we see? We saw a fish. We saw an eel. What else did we see down there? We saw a lot of crinoids. We saw a ton of hermit crabs, including the
One
guy
that
carrying a
had no
giant stick. And then we came upon an extinct
Temperature still
set of
Chimney.
hydrothermal chimneys.
It's kind of
And
holding right now,
then
but
we
it's
kind of got pulled away because the sediment was just it became way too turbid to actually see anything. And then we hopped over here outside the crater, and now we're just kind of searching around.
And we descended onto this sedimented environment that's full of crinoids,
That's another-
anemones, sea pens, the most amount of sea pens we've seen for this entire leg of this expedition.
Beautiful ripple marks.
We just saw a wonderful octopus.
A great octopus.
Only our third of this expedition.
And we saw a hole that had ash deposits in it, which was very cool.
Yeah.
Not quite as cool as the octopus, but still pretty cool. All right, so we've made it up to about 18 degrees in terms of temperature. And the question is,
We started at like
what's
50
going
now.
on? So we have about a 3-degree difference.
Is there any chance that the currents are bringing warm effluent from the crater over that ridge that we crossed when we left the crater, and that's what we're seeing? As
Can we
now
zoom on
go
this
further
thing left
to
of the lasers,
west?
please?
I think we're
Just
going
about
west,
to,
right?
yeah, just a snap zoom.
That's a good question, Patty. I don't remember what the temperatures were inside the crater.
Okay,
But
it's
we
just
can go find out.
It's just a echinoid or sea urchin test that's broken open.
Only.
Oh, but what that could be is that it's next to a hole, so that could be something's burrow, and that's some leftover food.
If it's that lobster, we are running away.
No, like that's usually what octopus do. Octopi do.
Okay, octopus are
Yeah.
fine. But
They
if
usually
that,
live. That's how you spot them when you're snorkeling or scuba diving. You see all the shells outside of their home.
if we see that lobster again, we're out of here. Mm-hmm.
Those little rocks that were around the echinoid shell also looked like, some of them looked like scoria. To me, there were some black ones and some red ones. Some of them looked vesicular. So, I don't know. I think these are volcaniclastic fragments.
Yeah, if we could zoom in a little bit more on this, that would be great.
Just tilt down and below the shell.
I don't think we're going to...
I just wanted to look at the rocks.
Oh, I was like, I don't think you can see anything in the burrow.
No, I wanted to look at the rocks.
We tilt down to the shell.
Yeah, so Patty, did you just say scoria?
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know if I'm right, but it looks very familiar to things that I've seen on Kilauea. You know, fragments of rocks of a variety of colors being thrown out as cinder cones. I'm trying, yeah, there's some vesicles in the rock on the right-hand side that is kind of like brown in color, just beneath and to the right of the shell.
Yep. And so vesicles are basically holes in the rock that are created by escaping gases. And scoria is actually the same composition as basalt, which we've seen a lot of basalt as we have been driving up and down mounds of pillow lavas over many of our dives.
A lot of basalt.
So when you think of, many of you know what pumice is, probably, and scoria is very much like pumice. It's just of a different geochemical composition. And of all the weird Googling things I just found out, evidently scoria is commonly used as landscaping pebbles at Taco Bell. I swear that's what it says on Google.
What?
Commonly used as landscaping pebbles at Taco Bell. Who knew?
Yeah, they prefer the red scoria.
Who knew?
So there's a very tiny...
And just the second pebble to the left of that little red squat lobster has a big vesicle in the top of it. You can kind of
check it out.
So I'm not sure that scoria is always basaltic. It depends on the nature of the eruption. Presumably you can get basaltic andesite and andesitic scoria as well. So what you need is like, you know, a fire fountain or some type, that sort of eruption in order to throw these little pieces of magma out of the volcano.
Okay.
I've always heard it as being the...
That's true.
Okay.
But it's a detail that's lost on non-geologists. But the point is the magma behaves differently under these conditions.
Shimmering color
If it's
from the
very
left side.
basaltic or if it's very rhyolitic. That's what makes the real difference between scoria and pumice.
Excellent. We've learned new geology facts today.
You can definitely still see all the shimmering. It's everywhere.
Temperatures are going down again.
Another difference between basaltic volcanoes like this and felsic volcanoes like East Diamante is the size of their calderas. Basaltic volcanoes tend to have smaller calderas than felsic ones. The most famous, of course, is Yellowstone, huge felsic volcano caldera the size of the whole state park, national park.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob.
Watch lead now.
Go ahead.
Hey, we just did a full 360 here.
Great.
Right turn.
Do you want a bump somewhere else so we can do it again?
Yes, give us a moment to think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to come underneath you
west.
and get rid of this turn.
Okay.
This is Bob. Yeah, the outside of these flanks of these volcanoes are very different environments from in the crater for life, I assume, because there's geostrophic currents that follow the contour going around the volcano. So occasionally you see evidence of ripple marks, and you also see the bending of the crinoids and so forth. So we commonly see when we get on the flanks of these arc volcanoes out here, you see ripples that are sort of oriented more or less up and down slope. They're long axis, so that currents are sweeping around in a contour-like fashion, following around the volcano. So you commonly see ripples like that, and less commonly you see ripples that are oriented parallel to the slope. But so it's a different kind of environment than within the caldera, where they're not clear how the currents are forming in there. There might be some gyrus-type circulation generated by tidal movement of the water or something like that. But,
yeah. Can you bring it outboard?
Outside is very different.
Come down.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Thank you. That was very interesting.
5
Okay,
meters off
so
the
shore
bottom
base
row.
scientists, I have a question for you guys. No, it really was. I'm really learning so much about the ripples in this area, which I did not know. So shore base scientists, we have a question. If you would all take a look at the high pack, and maybe we can ask the navigator to just zoom out a little bit on the high pack. The question is, where would we like to go next? Maybe not quite that far. Yeah. Where would we like to go next? What should we do continuing our exploration of this area?
All the way over.
Oh, you want all the okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. You can do the
Knowing
same
that,
with
I should
server.
mention, we cannot go, we really can't go to the west. We can't go any shallower than we are right now. Correct, Nav?
Correct.
Yep. So, where would you guys like to go?
Bob Stern, what do you think about going northward in this little depression? Because the slope gets steeper, I think if we could have that map kind of suited down so that we could see further north, I don't know how long it would take to go across this depression, but it looks bumpy from the shadowing on the bathymetry.
I think that's a good idea.
What about going? We can't go any slope. Sure, is that steeper scarp? I mean, that seems where you see more.
Yeah, we cannot go up slope. We are at our max in terms of going up slope. So we can go any direction except west, essentially. Yes. All right, so what I'm hearing is north. Go north, young man. Do I hear anything else? Go west? Tifa doesn't understand me. Do I hear any other options besides let's go drive north for a while and see what we can find?
You want to turn to the right?
If that is north, then
having
yes.
a hard time understanding you. Pretty broken up.
I just put it in the event log. Sort of.
I think we should just say we're doing that.
Just finding more rocky terrain would be better than in this soft sediment flat terrain.
Sure. Let me just get in position here.
Sure.
So I'm assuming we cannot go to the west up the steeper slope at all. Is that correct?
No, we cannot go to the west at all.
Yep. Turn it.
Okay, executive decision, yes. Thank you. I think we're going to go to the north. Thank you, Navigator, for bearing with us.
I'm going to lose you, pilot. So,
Yep.
Okay.
You gonna follow me?
All right, guys, we had to make a decision. So decision is north. That doesn't mean we have to continue to go north forever. So start thinking about what we're seeing, what we're looking at, and we can decide where to go after that. True exploration. We don't have any waypoints.
Did I just put a turn in? No.
Should move in.
I did come up a little bit, Roland, to get him underneath me.
Okay. Thank you, Bridge. It's a cool looking feature in your sonar.
Huh, I feel like I've seen this before.
Wonder why.
Wonder if it's blowing warm water over the top of the. Someone already say that? Yeah.
So, pilot, is this the same field
Yeah.
of crinoids we passed through earlier?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I thought so.
Looked awfully familiar.
I know. I think I recognize one of those rocks. Definitely.
How's the current right here?
Yeah, it's about the same as it was, which is moderate.
So it's just interesting how many crinoids there are here. And these ones are so coated in the cirri that keep them in place all along their stalk. And so these crinoids are actually, though they may appear to be sessile, they're actually hemisessile, so they can pick up and move when they need to. And if anybody has ever read Day of the Triffids, that's pretty much what you imagine. They kind of haul themselves along the seafloor in this kind of very unnerving way. Currently, there are about 600 species of crinoids, but there were many, many more once upon a time.
What's up?
It looks like there's a couple fish in the distance. I can see two of them. Our RV pilots are going through a watch change right now, so just bear with us. But some interesting chat in the log right now from Brian Green, one of our fish experts. And he says that that tilefish, the bright blue one, which I think we could see again currently just below us, there's a very good chance that that's actually a new species of fish. So that is incredibly exciting news. So
I think it's east to west here. I think Watchlead's going to want something from you here soon.
exactly. So when you're settled, pilot, I'd like to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we just saw some very bright blue fish, and we think they may be new species. So we'd just like to get a little bit more footage of them before we move on, please.
Where was he at?
I think it's smack
He's under you now.
below us.
Oh, right below us. Don't have a whole lot
There are, I
of
think, two individuals, possibly more.
Two forward.
You can't
in
miss
your
them.
Position.
Yeah,
This
directly below you.
I just came out of that hole there. Yeah.
See if he'll come back out for us.
So just going on with some more chat in the log between our two fish experts.
Pretty much down.
Three fish experts actually
Okay,
in the log right now: Richard Pyle, Brian Green, and Bruce Mundy. And they're speculating as to whether this is a new species of tilefish. They think it may be.
What's the speed of the move?
And they were saying that most tilefish, their species ranges actually... there's two out there, yeah.
Why don't you push out there?
Actually only extend to about the limits of diving, recreational, scuba diving. I mean, limits of diving, I mean, do they actually extend to there, or is that just where they've been recorded because that's the limit of diving? That's immediately what I think when I see that statement. Fish guys, but... Regardless, this would be a huge genus extension if it were to be true.
I'm going to try to send it up on your Copilot.
Genus range extension in terms of depth range.
Okay.
It is a partial.
Okay, yeah, keep it there, video.
Can we get a bit more zoom, please?
Just a minute. Watch these.
Sure.
Looks like the ship has stopped, so...
Okay.
I think they were pretty infatuated with the lasers early on.
Thank you, Bridge.
Yeah. Alright, video. Let's see if we can't get a little closer.
You're drifting backwards?
I push against the current here. Where'd he go?
He went down in his hole.
Oh, sorry. I glanced at the other screen, and then I think right when I glanced, he...
The hole is just at the bottom, under your bottom left laser. There you go.
See if I can't get a little closer to him.
Have to look for another one.
Alright, video, go ahead and come out. I'm going to turn left, get a view of Sirius better. Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Looks like the turbidity level is going down.
Do people do that all the time? Oh, there's another tilefish in the distance. So you missed it, Deb, but there's speculation in the chat log that the tilefish is actually a new species, the bright blue one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
It was so beautiful, too.
Swing around Sirius at a tether length and see what we can find in this area.
Alright, video, let's come in on this little guy here and practice some close up.
The orange thing?
Yeah, let me get we sit down real quick. No.
Partial.
Copy. Okay, video, feel free to come in. See what we got here. Take a look at the base.
Max zoom.
So this is another beautiful sea pen.
Oh, they're trying to give me some money.
Okay,
Give them some money.
come out.
Can we
Nobody.
rotate left and...
I think you have an open mic on shore. Can you mute your mic, please?
Sure. Slow guy down here. Let's see what I can do for you. Okay.
What's the orange thing in front of the lasers?
Feel free to come in video. See what we got.
I don't know. What is that?
a regular urchin test.
Like
Is
a
it?
sand
Maybe?
dollar.
Yeah, so sand dollar test.
And
Why
what's
is
the
it
near-
orange?
What's the near ground?
This little guy.
What's the white thing in front of it?
Do you want to zoom?
That's max.
Can get a little closer.
That's max. and
No,
that's
it's not that
very
important.
small.
Okay.
Pulling
Okay,
out.
we can carry on. Thank you, pilots.
Little brittle star to the right of lasers.
Okay, so we can do a search
keep
pattern
wandering.
in this area, or do you want to keep the ship
Keep
moving, or-
exploring.
Okay. We can do that. Push out a little bit, and I'll work my way west or something. We could do.
God.
Blue fish ahead.
Aye.
Yeah, so it looks like you've been moving north, so just if you want to kitty corner to the, you can go either east or west and just have co-pilot
Oh, what's
follow
this
you
floating in?
Oh, what is
as
that?
you turn.
He's coming right at me.
Up.
Yes, it is.
Up.
Up, up, boink. Oh,
I think he went right underneath me, I'm guessing. We can take a look at this fish.
So we're pretty.
Snap on it when you're ready.
Okay, hold on. Let me get a little closer to
You could
him.
probably come down a few meters, co-pilot, and if you just want to just stay, you know, out at
Fish
near the end
guys,
of your
there
tether
are
pilot,
just
but keep coming around in
tilefish
a circle,
everywhere.
and co-pilot will follow you. That's fine.
Okay.
He's headed for his hole.
All right, Vito, feel free to come in.
so do they always live in burrows? Is that typical for tilefish?
I am not
He's a
sure.
ways out there.
That's a question for the
They
fish
are
guys on the
so
line.
cute.
Wow, the colors are just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blue looks really cool. It's right
Yeah.
at the edge of the visible light spectrum or something. Crazy.
Like a thermal current just came through or something. I can no longer focus it.
Okay, navigator, you're thinking have me go west, kind of turn west and go around?
I mean, you can continue going east, you know, clockwise if you want.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
And then co-pilot, just follow him as he
Yeah.
moves.
Copy that.
Looks like the water took a cold turn. And I was seeing shimmering to the left.
Yeah, it did get a degree and a half colder all of a sudden.
So for those of you who were looking in the quad screen and watching the temperature changes, it's dropped back down by a couple of degrees.
So yeah, why don't you push out toward the east?
Okay.
Go out at the end of your tether. You know,
Okay.
Just search around.
Yeah.
Just mow the lawn, as they say.
Mow the lawn.
And we're just zipping along, checking out the river marks. What are the little white things?
And take a look at the little white dots.
Yeah, we'd like to take a look at the little white dots. Maybe it's a hermit crab convention.
Let's go with this whole cluster over here. Lateral right and then park it.
But white patches will be of interest to them.
So, Deb, this is Bob Stern. Is the current still flowing from north to south, and about how fast?
I will ask.
I want to push in closer.
Pilot, when you have a chance, could you tell us what direction the current's from and how fast it is?
I feel a little bit of current. I'm guessing no more than 0.3 of an
Sea
hour.
star in the middle there, middle lower.
You can also, well,
Where's that? What sea stars are you talking
look at your
about?
DVL for your
Just be
current.
seeing that white thing. Push in a little bit.
Oh, there she is. I think I got it right there. Okay.
Below lasers.
Yeah.
What's the round thing?
Okay, right there. I'm gonna come down and get closer to it.
The round thing on the left in the center? Right there. What's about to go off frame?
There's two of them to the left. There's quite a few of them, actually.
Where? Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to come down here.
Nope. Oh, there's like,
Video,
I
feel free
think
to
they're
come
also
in, see what we
ophiuroids,
got.
and there's like 4 of them. Oh, there's
So
way
these
more than
aren't-
4 of them.
These
Look
aren't
at them.
sea stars. These are, wow, okay,
There's a ton of
yeah,
them.
there are loads of these tiny little brittle stars. Or ophiuroids.
How big are they? Were the lasers on?
Yes, the
yeah,
lasers
when we
were
zoom
on.
back out, we'll see.
There were actually a ton of them. And we saw one of these already when we
did.
first
And I think
came
these
down.
are shallower water sea stars because of the striping on the arms. I mean, you would have no need for any kind of just pattern like that in the deep sea.
Okay, we're clear with this.
Just like that
Yeah, feel
tilefish.
free to come out. So we
You'd
get
have
an
no
idea of
need for a
size.
beautiful blue color any deeper.
So yeah, there's size.
So
for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
There are
7,
loads, all in the
8,
background as well.
a
9.
whole bunch of them.
They must just be
10.
everywhere all over the seafloor here.
Wow. Very cool.
Video,
Can we zoom in on something that's white while we're here?
Yeah. Feel free to come in video, see what we got.
Oh, look, more sea stars. Those are rocks.
Sorted rubble.
Yeah. But actually, the ones that weren't in this rubble pile, like more out and down to the left, it'd be interesting to see if those were rocks or if they were something else.
Okay.
Down to the left or down to the right? Oh, the big
Either
one?
No, not the big one, just the other ones.
got
I just
some
want to
cover
know
if
if
you
they're
wanna head out
rocks
there.
or if there's something different.
Okay, so it's you're talking further forward. I think.
Looks like little bits of pumice, maybe.
Yeah,
We
go
could
up.
certainly zoom in on it again and check it out.
Take a look at this zone over here.
You can even, I mean, come down a couple more meters, Brian, if you wanted to.
Oh, so I heard that the current is no more than 0.3 of a knot, but I did not get the direction of the current, so we
Yeah,
will
that's
ask
fine
again
right there.
when we have a moment.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Dusting you a little bit there, Roland. Come in, take a look at this little guy.
Yeah, just feeding the locals.
Yeah.
Some more of these little squat lobsters, and there are some really tiny ones next to this larger one.
And I would not disagree. In fact, I would agree that these are probably, it looks like pumice. Okay, those tiny squat lobsters are super cute.
Do you still think it looks like pumice?
Yes.
Okay. No, we just focused up, so.
Squat lobsters and pumice.
All right, video, when you're good, I'm good.
Pulling out full line.
You can do what? Oh, look, there's socks. Okay.
Yeah, Navigator, if we want to do a little drift test, we can. See what we got for current. You have a little calculator on there?
Yeah.
So if you've just joined
you
us,
get your forward and
we
starboard
are
velocities
on
VDO.
the
Okay.
Yeah, it looks
east side of Esmeralda
pretty
crater.
minimal,
Is it?
Um,
Yeah. Really is.
We started
off
our
stick right
dive
now and-
inside Esmeralda crater
not really doing much.
and saw some interesting biology, some crinoids and some pagurids and other things, hermit crabs. And then it got a little bit too turbid for us to work there. We
Yeah,
spotted
I'd
some
say
extinct chimneys,
the
and
current
then
is negligible here.
Yeah.
then we
Cool. I'll push out a little bit further.
got a little bit too
east and then
turbid. The two vehicles couldn't see each other, and so we were forced
directions we
to
think about going? Like
you
abort
can just kinda
diving
keep
in
doing a
that
kitty corner towards the
crater, and
south.
so now we've moved to the outside of the crater,
I can check with
where
watch
we've
lead,
come
but
down into an
if you wanna do
area
that for now,
where
then
there
I'll
are
see if they wanna
lots
move up
of
to the top of this
crinoids,
point.
sea pens, and other interesting biology on this. What is a sedimented seafloor? We did see some shimmering water earlier. We're not sure whether that's just a temperature differential.
Hey, Watchlead, this is Nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Yeah, just wondering what the plan is for the rest of the day. We still have about, 2 hours and 20 minutes left or so. I was told to just search this area at a tether length, but I wanted to figure out what your plan was for after that.
Okay, so I think we just plan to move continually north, exploring. We have no more objectives really for this dive. This is purely exploratory.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're just going to keep heading north, seeing if we come across any source of this change in temperature, which I think we've moved out of that area. But and seeing if we see anything else, any hard outcrops, that kind of thing.
Okay, so we'll just move north along this plane. I'm not sure if you're looking at HiPAC right now. There's no objective as to how far you want to get? Or?
Exactly, no.
Okay.
Alright, video, feel free to come in. See what we got here. Someone's got a nice
Go ahead, Watchlead.
Little house here.
Maxo. Don't hear any interest on it from shore, so
yeah, feel free to come out. We'll keep looking for things.
That was a pretty pimped out house or something.
You're gonna start feeling tether pull here soon.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got a visual.
something walking under the lasers, to the bottom left of lasers.
This little guy?
Immediately left of lasers. Immediately under lasers.
Okay, he's a little one. I'll try to see if I can't get eyes on him. Ooh, I got a visual now. Okay. I'll try to get closer to him.
So the temperature around here certainly is doing weird things.
Yeah, it fluctuates quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think as I come up and down, it changes.
Below your lasers?
Oh, no, yeah.
Alright, video. I'm going to see if I can't get him into view here for you. I think he's right here.
Yep.
What are we looking at?
The lasers.
Sorry, I'll try to
Not sure. We saw something moving. It may be a very small fish. This little thing to the right.
Oh, I see it to the left.
Yeah, there's one to the left.
Oh, no, there's one. Okay, there's two.
Yeah, there's one on the very left edge of the screen right now.
Wow, how did you spot that, Roland?
Eagle eye.
Eagle eyes.
Let's see if I can.
So yeah, so there's a fish to the right, which we can see right now. This little red fish here. And this is a dragonet. We've seen a couple of these on previous dives. As well as there was another fish to the left.
Alright, Roland, let's come
I
out
see
a little
bunch
bit.
of these little guys in general in this area.
Okay. Come full wide, Roland, thanks.
You are full wide.